Your own.
Hey everybody, this is Kevin Smith, and I love Mike Hanson Archives. Check it out.
And Hanson Archives.
And Hanson Archives?
Yeah, I got 3 YouTube channels.
Give them all to me. I'll do it. I'll rapid fire them.
God bless you.
This is Jessie Mariah Andrews, and I love Hanson Archives and Waco Archives on YouTube.
And Mike Hanson Archives.
And Mark Hanson Archives. He forgot to tell me that, folks.
Oh, and I love Desi Andrews.
This is April 19th, 1998, 5 years after the murder of children. We were just reading the Austrian-American Statesman. It never talks about the children. It talks about David Koresh being some sort of cult leader. Of course, the media doesn't want to discuss Waco rules of engagement. And I was surprised that it was nominated for an Academy Award, but of course it didn't win. We're coming out here to help keep the memory alive of the butchery, the murder. Because Bill Clinton was insecure and wanted to flex his muscles, and the BATF wanted more funding. They wanted to raise the American people's consciousness about cults and out-of-control organizations of this nature. So they surrounded the place, opened fire with helicopters, and then 51 days later set it on fire, sent hit teams inside, and murdered the people. Those that tried to escape were machine gunned from outside. Only a couple people got out alive, and that's because they came out the front where they had cameras.
We're fixing to show you everything.
We're fixing to show you everything out there and get a lot of important interviews. This is the Freedom Report.
If we can get across to these guys that the New World Order is not a pie in the sky, it's the people. They're going to go to concentration camps for immediately.
That's right. They're going to be the ones that
we're not the enemy. We're not trying to get them.
If nothing else, like I told you, if nothing else, they can see that this is people that are sharing ideas.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of that. It's not, us going there and having some private clandestine meetings about how to overthrow the government or something. And I told Wes, I said, even if we agree to disagree, I figure that's the worst thing that'll come out of it.
Well, I think that we don't want to get in there with a confrontational attitude.
No, and I'm not going to allow that either.
Yeah.
I don't mind them being asked tough questions. I told them your right to fight, y'all. Why are you so
Pardon for your right to fight.
You got a party for your right to fight. The Beastie Boys had it backwards. Chuck D figured it out. You got a party for your right to fight. No, that's
we like that.
It's made this foray, but he said, I have a feeling it's going to become a love fest, that you guys that have always said all these bad things about police and ATF and all this are suddenly going to have a change of heart and go, oh, these are wonderful, we support all this. I'm going to push a little. I'm going to similar. I sit around for 5 minutes.
There's this girl down in Houston stalking me.
We're going to know Texas for the first time in a long time.
Yes, sir. Right on the left there.
What is that?
Oh, the mag bag, that's, if you know anything about the raid on the Branch Davidians. Okay, well, supposedly they had a bunch of guns here, which it was an empty building, they decided to bulldoze down.
And there was I try to stay away from that long running stuff. I got bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, most people are
just really involved. So is that part of the compound?
No. Actually, it wasn't a compound. It was really a church. That's what the media decided to call it.
Looks like a lot of good fishing.
No, that was just a storage facility they had.
Up here?
Yeah. And they decided to ram one of their vehicles through it.
Through that place back there?
Yeah.
It looks like a jungle king over there. See the burn off drop, as you can see.
You said what's your Is it Ralph Nelson? Fred? Delivery time, 92666.
Yeah, just pull off.
Somewhere for
Somebody brought the Liberty
Here, we need to.
Bell out.
That's Wyla. Tell Wyla where she wants us to.
Hey, somebody has some tape.
Let me let her know we're here.
Okay, let me let this arrow out.
You have tape?
So we
Let me.
Whoa!
If I don't turn it off,
What the fool was that?
I don't know if you remember. I'm
That crowd. Uh-oh. Let's go.
I don't want to get run over by the bus. Let my drink go back there. I'm going to have a wet seat.
Each of us has a responsibility because you're here. You live in this country. You live here now.
I love Mike Hanson Archives. Just like Nuremberg. Just taking orders doesn't cut it, my friend. You understand me?
I think I've assessed you.
Yeah, oh, you've assessed me.
Assessed.
Listen, you can sit there and say some kind of little joke. All your textbook garbage, my friend. I got people like General Parton, ex-head of Air Force Weapons Development. We know the federal government destroyed Oklahoma. It's proven. We know what you guys are engaged in, just like Hitler burnt the Reichstag. We know you brought Nazis over here through the rat line to set up our CIA after the OSS. So you can't sit here. You can assess me all day. I want you to assess me. I've assessed you, a smiley-faced slime ball that sits here and soft pedals and tries to placate the media. Waco Rules of Engagement shows your agents machine gunning men, women, and children as they tried to exit. One of the inventors of flared technology worth hundreds of millions of dollars is on that documentary. He is of the establishment.
If you would review the documentary, you'd find that I'm in the film as well.
Yeah. Well, yes, I just saw you over here. I watched the first time it came out.
You obviously haven't reviewed it.
You are backpedaling.
You obviously haven't reviewed it because in the film I clearly state that the majority of the people that died here are homicide victims.
Yes.
Yeah, by who though?
Review your own film.
Yeah, but you're saying that they had 500,000 rounds of ammunition.
On top of them. On
Yes.
top of them.
Yes. They didn't have 500,000 rounds of ammunition. I just talked to Clive Doyle.
Oh, okay. Oh, and Clive is the expert on the total number of pieces of ammo.
Yes.
Oh, he is?
Yes.
Well, Clive's the one that invited me here.
Well, fine.
Okay.
Well, I just hear you over here soft pedaling stuff, and I'm sick of it.
I don't think you understand where I'm coming from. I don't think you have your story straight.
I think I do have it
I'm
straight.
on your side. I am the one that appeared in Mike McNulty's film.
I know, I've seen you in there.
Well, obviously you don't know my story.
It sounded
Until
to me.
you come back and you reviewed the film and you know my story, then I'll address
It
you.
sounded to me what I heard you saying when you were soft pedaling it.
I beg to differ with you, my friend. I beg to differ with you. I mean, if you're trying to enhance your cause in Austin, I beg to differ with you.
I'm not trying to enhance anything.
Oh, yes, you are.
I hate this movement. I was a hell of a lot happy before I found out about all this garbage.
Well, how do you think I feel?
Okay.
How do you think I feel? I mean, I was here. You weren't. I was a part of the negotiation team. You weren't.
Yeah, I heard you on the. I've heard you on the tape.
Oh, you've heard me on the tape.
Yeah.
Could you tell me what I said on the tape?
Oh, you said all kinds of stuff like. It was either you or one of the other gentlemen sits there and says.
Oh, wait a minute. No, you said me.
Well, you say that there's no weapons mounted on the helicopters.
I never said that. I never said that.
Oh, okay. Well, look. Anybody that's part of the FBI at this
I'm
kind
not
of
part
time,
of the FBI. I don't work for the
you were
FBI
one of the
anymore.
Well, you were.
Just because I was doesn't mean that I side with everything they think.
Everything. Well, I guess Frederick Whitehurst, he's a kook too, isn't he?
I wouldn't call Frederick Whitehurst a kook.
Yeah, one of the heads of the FBI crime lab says they manufactured evidence here and all across the board.
I didn't say Frederick Whitehurst. You're the one that said Frederick Whitehurst.
Yeah.
Say that.
Yeah.
I'm not that way. No, I don't. You completely missed the point. You completely missed the point. You don't even know who I am. You haven't even reviewed Waco, the rules of engagement, to know who I am and what I stand for.
I have seen Waco. I was there at the premiere in Austin, Texas. What are you talking about?
Well, good. You need to go check out the video and look at it again, and then come to me with your questions or your statements.
I've seen it about 5
times. Or your accusations of soft pedaling.
Okay, that's fine. I think it is soft pedaling. I heard enough. I sat over there for about 3 minutes and listened to you.
Then you can move on.
Herman Goering and Drag. Are you? Oh, so you're not calling for Herman Goering and Drag?
What about the people around?
This garage? No, no, Branch.
Jimmy, you're doing a fantastic job. Beat Jimmy Ritter. Jimmy Ritter.
Jimmy Ritter. Jimmy Ritter.
From Austin.
Who the hell
How you doing, man?
A lot of people from Austin. You can live it? Get something going?
I've lived here before, so I don't know.
I think you're sweet. I think our bus is waiting on us.
She says that David was an excellent singer.
The rules of engagement.
I said, should Reno be indicted? And he goes, no. Okay.
No.
I said, yeah, well, I said, should Reno be indicted? And that provocateur agent was out here, and all the media was around him, sucking up his lies, just walked around the rubble going, blah, blah, blah.
They all committed suicide.
We got everybody. I don't know. I think he's going to be on my
And that's where he believed that God took him and showed him the book of Revelations and showed him that he was the Lamb of God and he was the one who was supposed to. She didn't seem to know too much about it when I asked her. She said I'd be better off asking Claude Doyle about that. But
put it in.
Well, not now.
But she basically just told me about his childhood.
Oh, God, it was terrible. Wait till you see it.
What gives
He interrupted him.
Look at that children. He said,
Look at that smirk.
Remember what happened and to continue to ask why. It's an image burned into the memory of America.
5 years ago today, fire consumes the Mount Carmel Center near Waco with 80 people inside. It was the tragic end to a 51-day standoff after federal agents tried to arrest David Koresh on weapons charges. In tonight's top story, KV24's Danny Hermosillo tells us now the Davidians have found some unlikely allies for their cause.
The tragic end to the Branch Davidian standoff still takes its toll among the survivors.
David Koresh, United States.
Sheila Martin and others remember these names as friends, children, and spouses.
Many times I think of it as like I've really been like in a continual funeral. It's like I live it every day. I see the faces.
There's a new phase on the scene of the standoff. Mount Carmel now houses a museum that attracts those searching for the truth behind the tragedy. That search has drawn some unlikely supporters.
We have to engage in the struggle for the duration until the truth is known.
Former U.S. Attorney General Ramsey Clark now represents the surviving Davidians in their wrongful death suit against the government.
It's not a matter of taking sides. It's not the government against the people or the people against the government. It's the people's government working for the rights of the people.
That's where I recovered the majority of the bodies.
Barris Rookstool also defends the Davidians.
All the women and children were kind of huddled up into this corner section there.
The former FBI agent recovered many of the bodies and gathered the evidence after the fire. He says the government mishandled the situation.
There were major mistakes made in this case, not only from the way things were handled, but the way things were negotiated and the way things were affected as in the form of trying to take control of the crime scene.
These 82 trees were planted as living memorials to the Branch Davidians killed during the standoff. And as they continue to grow, so does the myth surrounding the siege. But maybe in time there will be a blade of truth as to what really happened. In Waco, Danny Hermosillo, KV24 News.
4 ATF agents were also killed during the initial raid on Mount Carmel. 7 Branch Davidians are serving terms from 15 to 40 years for either killing those officers or other weapons charges.
Today is also...
Many Davidians still live on the land, and they...
Children. Photos of them and Koresh are featured in a museum that opened today.
That they were there for the right reason, and David was telling them the truth.
Sheila Martin lost her husband and 4 children.
The pain of knowing that they died so horribly, such a pain of the fire. I mean, we have dark shoes on in the sun, and when our feet start to burn, their whole bodies were burning, their whole faces, everything.
Sheila takes us to the trees that represent her family. First, she finds the daughter named after her.
She was just 15, and when I think that she's the age that my son died, she would have been 20 this year.
Her son Douglas was the spitting image of his father. Sheila reminisces about the good times. Anita used to do her mom's hair.
She went into the ladies' room with me, and she's fixing it, and she goes, "They won't know who's the mother or the daughter," she says, because she was so much taller than I was, something like that. And so we would joke about things like that. It gave us a chance to have a good relationship. And this is my husband over here, this one.
Sheila and Wayne were married for 20 years.
When I think of a man and a woman being in love, he's the only one that I shared my experiences with.
Lisa was just 13.
I still think about her a lot. I still hear her laugh when my other little girl laughs.
It's hard for Sheila Martin to visit this land. Time hasn't taken the pain away. That kind of wound never heals. In Waco, Susan Risden, News 36.
That photo we just showed you of Sheila's family, it's the only family picture she has, and it will hang at the new Branch Davidian Museum.
In December in Kyoto, President Clinton has drafted a plan which will cause...
You need to be aware of these secret groups that are taking over the world, including the UN. They control the UN. They control everything else.
See if we can read some of these. Dollars for people, not women. No war. We are all Zapatistas. Stop killing Iraqi people.
There, and they asked for my driver's license number.
Yes, sir.
I yelled out in front of the crowd. I said, Hillary, and it should.
We don't want your money more. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want your money more. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want your money.
The planned attack. The planned attack on Iraq is a violation of the bomb set. To bomb Iraq right now, there is no moral justification. There's no of hypocrisy. Never have the.
What's your feelings on
it's all about money?
No, I don't. It's not all about money. It's all about stupidity. I mean, all Saddam Hussein.
There are a few events coming up. I'm a member of the anti-war committee and protesting the war against Iraq. Now, we had a rally today at UT, and
For Access Television Channels.
It's E-R-I-C-S-O-N?
Yes. Senator, I'm 46. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sorry to yell at you. Was the local police?
Local police. Plain clothes? No. Uniform police. Escorted out by local law enforcement. Greg, I'm sorry. Escorted out by local law enforcement. He didn't raid the SWAT team, huh? A SWAT team. Well, let's go on back in there. I bet we can get him out.
3, 4. Stop the section, stop the war. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop the section, stop the war. Stop the section, stop the war. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop the section, stop the war. 1, 2.
Obviously some kind of intelligence unit. They got real nervous when we went to talk to him. And then he ran off around behind the building. Blood urine test on Clinton and his gang. I like that, right. That'll never happen.
Every person in the United States has got to have his thumbprint in the National Register.
Where?
He's on the other side of the van, Maryland. He's coming.
You want blood and urine test?
No, they shouldn't do that because it's unnecessary.
You noticed they're putting up camera poles on all the freeways around Austin, haven't you?
They are?
Yeah.
It was?
And they'll soon have automatic people.
Hey, I was wondering without that mic, you won't have no audio.
Bet you weren't going to make it.
All right, let's get them all.
Stay tuned right here for more classics on this channel here, Hanson Archives. But to fund this station, I'm offering, if you send us $25, we'll send you a signed copy of Bohemian Grove, Cult of Conspiracy. It was forwarded by Tex Mars that just recently passed away. Also, Alex Jones has a chapter in here. And you know that's good. There's us in our younger days. But on the address that you see, send us $25 and we will send you a signed copy, or give us a call at 830-672-3089 and you can put it on a credit card. We'll send it right out. But that's what we need to help fund this channel, folks. So help us get all the classics uploaded to YouTube. We got hundreds and hundreds of old Alex Jones and Jeff Davis and a bunch of other Patriots that we need to upload. About 25-year-old tapes.
All right, that's it. All right, who wants to lead it? Let Gene go. Go ahead. Yes, sir. All right. God bless the Republic!